How are things going for everyone? Hello, Sam. Grayscale is now done. They just said that Bitcoin imports have stopped. They were having a bad day. The 2 days before this, the trade days before this, they had money coming in for the first time. I'd like to talk about that and show you what came out of Grayscale along with some other news from today. If you don't mind, please click subscribe and turn on the bell icon below the movies to see more videos like this. To be clear, just because Grayscale is losing some data, I'm not a bear. Long term, I think this asset class will do well, but prices might go up and down. Right now, prices are going down a little to around 62.7 or 62.8, which is a number we've seen a few times. Thanks to this place, we've found support. We are going to keep going up. I would now keep an eye on the 62,000 mark or somewhere in that range to see if we can stay above this trend line. After that, we just want to get ahead generally compared to where we are now. We want to leave this band and go over $67,000. It would be great if we could break above that and set a new high. The ETFs are what's stopping us right now, though. Aside from the last 2 days, the last week or so has seen a lot of money leave ETFs. Now we've seen 2 days of flows. Let's see how we do today. So far today, Mr. 100 has bought 300 Bitcoins. More people didn't trade in ETFs today. IBIT was the only one with more than 500 million. I don't remember a day with so few trades. GBTC was around 300 and FBTC was around 200. This month, GBTC lost $29 million, which isn't that bad. In other words, it's less than their standard amount of money leaving the business. It had been coming in for 2 days, so I don't think anyone was thinking they would only be getting more money. It's because, as I've said several days ago, there's no good reason to put money into GBTC. You can get into Bitcoin ETFs through IBED, FBTC, BITO, ARKB, or BITB. The fees for all of these are less. So there's not much point in going through GBTC unless you already have to. It's because you don't know about the other ETFs and want to get in as soon as possible. ARKB gets $3 million every day. Still, the rest of the ETFs haven't been named yet. Even though we don't know what IBIT or FBTC will do, today looks like it will be a good day in general. It's going to be a good day, but probably not a huge one. Today there was less noise here. We did learn more about the people who are buying these ETFs, though. Asset manager Sequoia worth $429 billion. It looks like Sequoia, but I'm not sure if it is. Sequoia International said that it has $831 million worth of Bitcoin spread out over 10 ETFs. The amount of money this boss is in charge of is $500 trillion. This is a big asset manager, not as big as Fidelity or BlackRock, but still big. They also buy Bitcoin through many of their ETFs. A lot of Bitcoin worth almost $1 billion. The biggest amount of Bitcoin ETFs owned has been reported so far. Remember that BlackRock and Fidelity may have more shares than this company. They might not do that this quarter, but they might do it a different time. They have between $5 billion and $10 billion in AM. I meant to say $9 billion, $5 trillion, and $10 trillion in AM. They can also put their ETFs in other ETFs, including Bitcoin ETFs. So it would only take a few clicks for them to beat us. The amount of money they could have is huge. It's possible that BlackRock will add the Bitcoin ETF to the 2 ETFs that they have talked about or filed with the SEC. Just between the Strategic Income Opportunities Fund and the Global Allocation Fund, these 2 ETFs have $50 billion in AM. They would do better than this asset manager if they just put in 2%. This is just with the $50 billion they have saved. Remember, that's 2% of their whole fund. If you're BlackRock, you put 2% of your funds into Bitcoin ETFs, which means you already report more on Bitcoin ETFs than the biggest asset manager. Yes, this is just the start. British Hodl says to remember that one $438 billion fund has said it has a 0.3% stake in Bitcoin. He said that this was raised to 3% within the next year. That is $13.4 billion from one group. That does sound crazy, doesn't it? This number shows that people want Bitcoin, which makes the price go up. Along with that, we have news that 20K Bitcoin has been the lowest amount of Bitcoin that has been sent to an exchange since 2015. That's why people aren't rushing to sell their Bitcoin on markets. It's just being held. They have it in their laps. You can see it here too. The Bitcoin exchange reserve is very low, between 1.95 and 1.8 based on where you look and which service you use. But CryptoQuant says there aren't even 2 million. The last time it was this low was a few years ago. Of course, the numbers were smaller many years ago when there wasn't as much Bitcoin to go around. But we've already seen the supply drain. Take a look at this 2.3 to 1.95. And the price will go down by 15% over the next year. Yes, that is a big difference, a 15% drop in 1 year. The price will eventually go up by a huge amount. Elon Musk says, "This sounds crazy. If it's true, I'm not going to get into this too much now. But it looks like Trudeau and I are waiting for more news on this because I haven't seen this group mentioned." Elon Musk said, "Community, come in here and say if this is wrong." But they say the Trudeau government has passed an Orwellian new law called Online Harms Bill C-63, which will allow police to search the internet for hate speech violations from the past and arrest offenders, even if the offense happened before the law was made. Okay, to say it again, I'm not sure if this is real, but I know for sure that this takes place in other countries. This is another reason some people want Bitcoin. They want something that can't be taken away from them because of a mistake they made years ago that they didn't even know about that wasn't wrong. This does, in fact, show why Bitcoin is becoming more and more important. I know I've said this before, but everything leads to Bitcoin. Every news story I read makes me think that Bitcoin could make things better, but please tell me what you think below the film. There is a link to Margex below the movie that you can click on. There is also a link to Coinoo if you want to trade. We are getting pretty close to this trend line, as you can see. I'm looking forward to seeing what comes next. Get ready, because the market is about to go crazy. Thanks a lot. Thanks for that. Stay safe. See you in the next one. Bye.